No problem.
It is a no problem. Right, so hi guys, welcome back to the next episode of Don't Fear the Weight. With me, of course, your TinyTitan host, TinyTitan. And today in the hot seat, I have got a very, very cool friend of mine. I don't know if he's cool or not, to be perfectly honest with you. We've chatted a couple of times on Instagram. He seems alright. But he is known as 3D Strength, also known as Dale. So, hi Dale, how are you?
Hello, very well. Very well, are you?
Not too bad at all, thanking you. So I suppose people have heard of the name 3D Strength a couple of times being batted around on the socials there, but for people who don't know who you are, do you just want to give us a bit of a rundown about who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about, that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, basically I'm a lightweight strongman who's just moved into the middleweight division. I've been training for 12 years in strength sports. I've been competing for 9 years in strength sports and also a stint in mixed martial arts. I've had 3D strength for coming up 8 years now, and I've been training and coaching people in strongman and strongwoman for 8 years.
Nice.
I've done my first ever competition back when I was 20, when I'd done a little bit of powerlifting. A year later, I went and done my first World's Strongest Man under 90s, and ever since then, I've been all over the world doing the Arnold circuit, been to America twice, Finland twice, Dubai, Australia's Arnold's, Europe's Strongest Man, done all that sort of stuff. And I was the first person to be to break the 4 times body weight barrier, the under 90 kilo deadlift. After I'd done that, it was time to move on and then move up to the 105s. And coaching's my passion. I love training. I'll always train. I always have trained for a lot of years, but coaching's my big passion, if I'm honest with you. I love helping people. I love seeing people do well, no matter what level they're at. You don't have to be a world level international competitor to train with me. As long as you've got a big heart and you want to succeed, I'll take anyone on.
That's amazing. I love that. What a beautiful intro. So you're a well-versed under 90 kilo strongman. I was sent a video the other day about you nearly dying with a safety squat bar on your back with our good friend Knobby. So, you're taking your fair share of tumbles as well.
I'm very, very well known for not thinking and just doing things. So I have done a lot of things in training which I don't know how I haven't hurt myself more than what I have, but yeah, I think when you compete in strength sports, you need that little bit of crazy about you. Be it strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting, whatever. When you approach weight, you kind of approach it by thinking too much. Yeah. So I've got this weird approach where I can switch off, and sometimes, most of the time it goes right, but sometimes I have done stupid shit, like fell over with safety bars, fell over with yokes on my back, dropped stones on my head and all that sort of stuff. I've actually tried to load a 120 stone before. I've loaded a 120 stone to 6.5 foot, and I tried 7 foot, and as I went to press it above my head, the stone dropped me on my head and knocked me unconscious.
Jesus Christ. Not the nicest.
So I've done a fair bit of stupid shit in the gym and in competitions as well. I'm not too bad, but I have done a lot of stupid shit, really, if I'm honest with you.
I think that's what you mean, though. Like, when you've got to get into these kind of strength sports, there's got to be something insane about you, realistically. Yeah. But because I think one of the biggest things that I found in terms of strength sports is loving it so much to the point that your passion almost explodes, because you have to be a little bit stupid in order to do it. And everybody that surrounds you wants to see you be stupid because they want you to see you do well.
Yeah.
So I think you're right in that by having a little bit of crazy about you.
I think in this community, no matter what sport you do, especially the strength community, if you can appreciate everyone for what they do. So I'll give you an example. I train girls who do strong women. I train guys who do strongman, but we're all into the same sport. So regardless of what level or who you are, what age you are, we all want the same sort of buzz. So you all bounce off each other. And it's the same when you might not know someone personally, but you respect them for doing the sport. So even you compete against someone, you respect them for what they do. And you know how hard it is to compete in like this type of sport. So for me personally, it's a big thing about showing people respect, especially in competitions. No matter who I go against, I always compete for personal progress. I don't compete to compete against other people. I've never been like that. I've never thought, oh, such and such is doing this competition, I need to beat him. I always focus on what I do, and if they do well, I'm the first person to go over and shake their hand and say, wow, that was awesome, that. And if they fuck up, I'll just go over and say, wow, you fucked up there, didn't you? And I'll laugh about it. But
Brilliant.
I like that back. Does that make sense? If I do something stupid, I've met some really, really fun people over the years in this sport, and some people in particular, I get along with a couple of American guys, one of my friends Frankie, and when we were over in America and that, it was me and him, we were all in the top 10, we were all battling for going in the last event. And I remember I was telling him, I'd showed him 2 videos where the past 2 Arnolds I'd been to, I'd won the farmers and like blitzed everyone. And I went, you aren't beating me on this. There's not a chance you're beating me on this. I hope you're willing to come last. I fucking dropped the things after 5 meters and fell over them.
No way, that's so funny.
Oh, yeah. So you learn to shut your mouth sometimes as well. But that's what I mean. It's all part of the sport. I think you've got to take it like seriously, but at the same time, you need this fun element of it. Like, I don't leave the gym and think strongman. I think you need a little break away from it as well mentally, because I think sometimes when you overthink things and you set yourself high expectations, it can sometimes go the opposite way for you, where you actually fry yourself mentally, and that's how you generally find you plateau a lot more. So I always try to encourage people who are trained and encourage people I know to actually enjoy the process. So going into competitions and stuff, I always say, have fun and do your best. It doesn't fucking matter about anyone else. Just enjoy it, because not every single one of us are lucky to get paid to do this sport, you know. We can get paid from coaching and nutrition and all that sort of stuff. But when you compete for fun.
Yeah.
To test where you are and what you can do. So I think once you realise that, it took me a lot of years to realise you're competing because you actually enjoy it. You're not competing because you have to.
Yeah.
So why take something that you don't have to do too seriously because you do it because you love it, you know?
Damn right. Absolutely. And like you were just saying there, even though you're so passionate about the sport and you're passionate about coaching, because you literally live it, you need to have something else to just kind of like take your brain away from being over fried. I'm exactly the same. People come up to me and they're like, oh, I don't want you seeing me eat this. I'm like, why? I really don't give a shit. I'm not working at the minute. You know, I've got to get my brain away from it. I'll do some cross stitch or painting or something like that. What's your out of strongman hobby that you like to do?
I love spending time with my kids.
Yeah.
So be it going for a walk, going down the river, going to cinemas, spending time with the kids and my girlfriend. My favourite thing to do, if I was to do it with friends, is I like watching MMA.
Oh,
so
right,
my thing I do on my own is I will sit in my front room with a couple of mates, a couple of drinks, and just sit and watch UFC. That's my best thing to do. That's my time away from everything. Phone off and then just watch that. That's my favourite thing the whole wide world to do.
Amazing.
Outside of my family life, you know, I absolutely love it.
For sure.
I'm quite lucky because I do enjoy travelling, but this sport's let me travel a lot of the world anyways. So that's why I also like strongman as well. Once you get to a certain stage, you get to see like nice places, you know, and it's like good. And you think, oh God, I've seen like Dubai, Australia, and Finland, and all these sort of places in America, and you're doing something you enjoy as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's always a good thing. But no, definitely spending time with my family is my favourite thing in the world. I absolutely love it. So like a weekend's a big thing for me where I need to unwind and unravel, you know, because my girlfriend's very like supportive, but at the same time she knows when to switch me off and pull me away from it all. Put your phone down.
Yeah.
Watch them tell you with me and the kids, you know, and that's what I do. And I love spending time with family.
Oh,
1,000,000%.
It's so lovely. Right. I want to get away. All that mushy stuff. We like the mushy stuff. Right. But just getting away out of that. And I'm going to bring you back into strongman now with your mentality. Right. You are known for being a very, very sadistic, high volume programming coach, which is very different to most coaches. So I just want to kind of get and crawl into the back of your brain about that and compare you to some of the strongman coaches and just say, why all the high volume? Why do you do it?
So weirdly enough, the other day, I had this conversation with Mark Boyd. Mark messaged me and said, how do you train so heavy so often? Yeah. And I said, the reason why I can train so heavy so often, Mark, is because of the volume and recovery work I do after training, which a lot of people don't see. So recently I've started posting a lot more about it. My stuff I program for myself and my clients, a lot of the isolation work isn't heavy. A lot of it is anywhere between 100 to 1,000 rep workouts.
Yeah.
And I've learned this over the years from training myself. I found I'm less stiff. I get better mobility, I've got more blood flow, and I found over the years that helps me recover. But I'm also a massive, massive person on assistance exercises. So I don't like to leave any stone unturned. I like hitting the rear delt, I like hitting the lats, I like hitting the triceps, I like hitting the biceps, I like to isolate the hamstrings, I like to do weird movement on my quads, I like to do balance work. Because when I started this journey as 3D strength, it was always about making a whole complete athlete. And I found I've been through the stages when I was younger. I just thought heavy, finished, heavy, finished. The amount of injuries I've had from training heavy without the assistance and volume work crippled me. I had a sore back permanently. I've snapped my hamstring off twice. I put my back out twice. I've done my ACL. And by actually incorporating that volume and recovery work with lighter weights, the more blood flow and the more movement patterns are found for me and clients alike, the recovery's better. So the main answer to that is more optimal recovery, as long as you are not being a dickhead, for example, and fucking thinking that you can bend over a fucking 140 kilo 100 times. It's nothing like that. It's very light weights with different types of movements. So I'll do tempos, I'll do eccentrics, I'll do speed reps. It's all one big massive mix. So you're keeping your body guessing all the time.
Interesting.
That's what it's for.
So when you take, I don't want to mention any names because, I mean, he listens to it anyway, but I don't want to mention his name to boost his ego. When you take somebody who has been doing heavy all the time, heavy and low and all the rest of it, maybe their cardiovascular system isn't up to par because of the fact that they've all been doing is all their heavy stuff. And you just kind of go, right, do you know what? 250 leg extensions and 100 leg curls. And that's all, and you're just going to do like four sets of 6 heavy squats before you do that, and then tell me what you're like. I saw the response, but what was the kind of response that you got via a WhatsApp message after that?
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That's the best response. And then I find with those guys, especially the heavier guys, they're not used to it. But within time, give them a couple of months, they're recovering better, the cardiovascular system's better, and they're getting less back pumps.
Funny that.
So they're not cramping up as much. They're not as tight. They feel free. They're less injuries as well.
Yeah.
And then the find after a while, it's happened with Ben. I've been training Ben 4 years, and we've got him from like the novice level going up to now doing UK Strongest Man and stuff. He's one of the best conditioned heavyweight strongmen you'll ever see because he's just as strong going into every single event. Even if it's his weaker event, he's still ready to go on to the next event all the time because he's fit.
Yeah.
And like, I think a lot of guys, especially the heavier weight strongmen and strongwomen, sometimes they neglect that. You look at, I'll give you an example, Donna Moore, she is fit as fuck.
Yeah, tell me actually.
She's like an Olympic athlete. That's because she trains intense and very smart, but she also doesn't do heavy stuff all the time. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely fucking love heavy training. I absolutely love it. I fucking love it. But you've also got to step away sometimes and go out your comfort zone and try things which you've never done before to understand what works and what doesn't work. So I'll give you examples. Sometimes I do get guys who do struggle with certain movements. So what I'll do is I will adapt training. So some guys struggle to pull with snatch grip deadlifts. Some people can't get into certain positions, or some people technically don't enjoy doing front squats. Some people don't like doing barbell hip thrusts for whatever reason and things like that. So I'm a very easy coach to work with because I will work around what suits you, but I also know when I think you're being a lazy twat as well. Yeah. But if I think my clients are finding something uncomfortable and they don't enjoy doing it, and I don't feel like it's getting the best out of them, I do switch it up. I've always got loads of different alternatives, but my training always differs from week to week. We've always got the same goal, but I won't give someone a 6-week plan and go, there you go, I'll see you in 6 weeks. I speak to my clients every single day. At the end of every single week, we sit down and we talk and we see what works, what doesn't work, what needs changing from their point of view, and what I think from my point of view, and then we go from there.
Brilliant. Love that.
It's a very personal level. That's why I only take on so many clients, because I like to give everyone as much attention as possible. I'd rather have 40 clients, which I look after week in, week out, than 140, which I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Absolutely.
I like to know what someone did last week. I don't want to have to go through my phone and go, oh shit, who's that again? Who just sent me that message? Yeah. I can't do it. You know what I mean? My brain wouldn't function. I like to have a very personal base with my clients. So they install trust in me. Because someone shows their trust in me, it's my job as a coach and as a trainer to give them everything I can. That's the way I like to see it.
Absolutely. And so it should be.
It's not a money thing for me. I do this job because I love it. Like my gym is very cheap to train at for what you get as well. And so is my online coaching, because I work off results, not money. I live a comfortable life, but at the same time, I want results out of every single one of my clients, and all I want is what's best for them. But like I've said there, if someone's never going right, they're more than welcome to come and say to me, Dale, this isn't working. I don't like it for such and such reason. I'll go, that's fine. Yeah. Let's work around something else. No problem at all. I'd never make someone do something they didn't want to do.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. Well, this is it. And do you know what? You are so refreshing, because there are so many people out there. I was having a conversation with two of my good guys yesterday. And there are so many people out there who literally take on 80, 90, 100 clients. And I'm like, I cap my numbers at 50. I cannot take on any more than 50, because it's a head fuck. I get to know my clients on such a personal level. I mean, I'll take Knobby, for example, right? I use him because you know him like he's your best mate. He's told me little secrets about you that I don't know whether I should actually like drop in or not, but yeah, it's fine. We'll just use it. But just looking at him, for example, I speak to him now every day because we're on the same path. He's going in for a competition, fingers crossed if the gym doesn't get figured with all the COVID kind of crap. But I know what's going on with him every single day. You know what's going on with him every single day. And he knows exactly where he is with both coaches, which is really lovely. And if you had, could you imagine if you had 100 of those people messaging you every day and telling you how things are going, you wouldn't be able to do it.
No, I couldn't keep up. I think in our job, it's very important to have a personal understanding with someone. I will use girls, for example, like when it's a girl's menstrual cycle, sometimes they're not right.
Yeah.
Weight fluctuates. The fucking have hissy fits in the gym, and then sometimes like you've just got to know when you go, oh God, are you all right? Like, the girls break down in fucking tears and in front of me, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do here?
Yeah.
It's like things like that, or like when people are having problems at home or they're having personal life problems, that all plays a factor in training and nutrition. It plays a massive factor. So by you knowing that, you can always adapt and adjust things to suit them, and they feel so much more comfortable being able to do that than going, there's 12 weeks, piss off.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need that personal touch with people so they'll know that you've got their best interest at heart. But I will also say you also need to know when you've got to be cruelly kind as well. And I know some of my guys at the back of the book, and I know when they're pulling a fast one on me, and I'll fucking go through them like a ton of shit. I've had it a few times when he's in a little bit of a mood and he just does something a bit stroppy, and I'll go, whoa.
Yeah.
And he'll go, sorry. And I do it as well. I sometimes have days in here, where someone will go, fucking hell, you're in a mood, aren't you? And I go, yeah, no, sorry, and like, it's nice to have that relationship with someone when you can tell them.
Yeah.
And they don't get offended by it. I mean, it's very important.
Absolutely.
Not being a moody cunt.
Well, yeah, in the nicest way possible. This is it. I mean, we were having a chat the other day about one of the guys who was cutting to under 90s, and it's obviously a bit of a slog now because he's lean as shit and he's vascular and he's muscular, and it's really difficult to lose that kind of weight because we're not taking any body fat away at this point. It's all going to have to be glycogen and water. So it's a bit shit. And he's like, I'm going to be so glad when this is over. And I didn't want to do it because I was like, listen, mate, you wanted to cut to the under 90s, so suck it up and stop fucking bitching, because it's a job that needs to be done. We've got 24 hours to replenish, and you will feel like fucking Rocket Man afterwards. But right now, you're just going to have to stop being a bitch and get on with it.
Exactly. I've done a lot of those cuts when I was fighting and stuff, and like you say, when you get down to a level where there's no body fat left to come off you, and you look at the scales and you've still got 4 key to lose, and you're weighing in 24 hours, you just think, what the fuck? And I was literally sat at I used to weigh in at 76 kilo.
Yeah.
And honestly,
you at 76?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Over. Yeah, I was.
Wow.
I looked like I'd been on smack.
Yeah.
I didn't look the best, but no, it's you know what the problem is? I think a lot of it's a mental battle. Once I'm a big, massive believer in mental preparation, and if you can think something, you can believe it can happen. So I'll give you an example. Before I do heavy lifts, I've already done it in my head. All the time. I've always done it. And it was always the same when I was cutting down really low to the point which I shouldn't have been cutting down to. It was like, you've got to get that last run in. You've got to get that last pad session in. You've got to get the last sparring session in. Next thing you know, a week's gone, right, I need to get me water in. I need to refuel now and all that. And sometimes I was training like 5 hours a day then. And it was like, for 3 months, coming up to the last 2 weeks, it was mental torture. All I want to do is wake up and go to sleep. Yeah. And that was it. But you just got to get through it, you know. Just depends on the chosen sport. And it's the same in strongman and strongwoman. If you want to be in a weight class, you just got to suck it up and crack on with it then, don't you? Because you can't complain. If you make that decision to drop that weight, don't stop when you're nearly done. You see it through. Absolutely. Every time. And that's where your mental game comes into it. Are you tough enough to get to it? I remember Becky last year, bless her. This year at the Arnold's, and she obviously had like whatever happened in her private life, and she came over to America and made weight, and it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Like how much respect you can have for someone for doing that was unbelievable. And I remember just as we got away in, and the last person you want to see is me when I'm in a good mood and you fucking look like shit. I went, fucking hell, Becky, what the fuck's the matter with you? You need to sunbed you. And she was like, yeah. I could tell the face, she was like, not you, get out of my face. But like things like that. And she done it from what happened in her life. And I tell you what, that was one of the most inspiring things I've seen in a long time, seeing her do that. Even I looked at her and I thought, you poor cow. God, how have you done that? It was amazing. And that's what, like, when you do these sports, people forget you make friends for life. Yeah. Like, you meet friends from all over the world, you meet friends from your own country. And because you're in the same sport and you see them go through all these processes, like, I'll give you an example, sometimes people have a bad day in competing and stuff, and you always remember them. You go, oh, do you remember that time that happened? And you've always got something to talk about. Yeah. Forever. It's really nice. And like, even like working with people now, you'll talk to them in 10 years' time. You go, oh, do you remember when that happened when we were at such and such? I love all that sort of stuff, mate. But talking to people from past experiences is class.
It's amazing, isn't it? I love it. What's one of your favourite past experiences doing one of your competitions?
My favourite past experience doing competitions? Ooh, I'll tell you something, right? It was Arnold's Australia. And I'd literally been back from fighting for about a year. I'd done a couple of competitions. I'd done England's Strongest Man. I'd done like a 105 sort of warm comp. I was only about 83 kilo or something. And it was just me getting back into it. And I wasn't quite where I was when I'd stopped training for strongman. And I was a little bit, I'd say I was really weak compared to what I am. Uh-huh. And the process from doing that to winning the Static Monsters stuff and then getting to the Arnold's, getting right through it, and I turned up and no one expected anything of me. Like, I think the highest English person placed there was like 4th, and I come in and I remember winning the Farmers there, and it was the fucking biggest buzz I'd had in ages. I ain't felt like that in ages. I remember Terry Hollins was watching, all the pros and that there, and then a podium there, and that was when I realised again. I thought, you know what, I can do this, because even when I was fighting, I always knew I was a strong man. I always knew it was just something I needed to do. I needed a few years away to sort myself out, and that was one of the biggest buzzes I've ever had. That daft little things like that, and then like I've just went from strength to strength to strength to strength since then, and then like setting fucking records and all this sort of shit. And then it's little tiny things that matter to me. It's not like the big things, like when I broke 4 times bodyweight thing and all that. That was a special thing, but it's more about in competition when you're going against some guys who are world class and you beat them on certain things and you go, do you know what, I belong here. And like, that's a nice feeling to have when you feel, when you belong with the elite in like a certain sport, and you know that people respect you and you respect them, and you know you could beat each other at any moment on any event. Yeah. But it's sort of like getting the one up on someone and they look at you and they go, all right, fair enough, you're here for the long run. I love that. I love that. So yeah, the Farmers winning Arnold's Australia was my lovely little moment. I loved it.
I take it that the Farmers is your favourite event?
Farmers is my favourite strongman event with York, 1,000,000%. Most people will be surprised and probably say it's deadlift, but I've always been naturally good at that. But I definitely would say Farmers, and I fucking hate Conan's wheel. I can't stand it.
I don't think anybody should like that. I don't think anybody should like Conan's wheel.
Anything which is involved with breathing over 10 seconds is no go for me. Nah,
but you see, I
awful.
found
hate
that with the yoke. Now, I'm not obviously a natural strong woman in any kind of imagine because I'm 5 foot tall and I weigh 53 kilos. So, you know, strong woman is just like against me, unfortunately. But I went up and had a training session with all of my girls who are competing at the Englands this Saturday, actually. So we had a little bit of a training session and I did 140 kilo yoke. And I was like, do you know what? For fuck's sake. I mean, it was 40 meters that I did it, and it was 140 kilos. So it was nearly 3 times my body weight that I had to run with. And I tell you what, that bastard thing took my soul. And I left it there. I left it in the gym. It was horrendous.
It's like the old Mike Tyson thing, isn't it? Spinal.
Yeah.
Everything gets crushed. You do learn after a while to appreciate the yoke. I used to fucking hate it. I remember talking about some weird shit I've done. Sometimes when I have a bad session, I sometimes punish myself, and it sounds a bit stupid. One day I had a bad deadlift session, so I took myself outside. I set a 25-meter lane up outside, put 200 kilo yoke on, didn't wear a belt, took my top off, chalked my back, and I'd done a mile with a yoke, 200 kilo. Because I'd had a bad session. Because I'm a bit stupid. Honestly, I've done some fucking stupid stuff. That's what I mean when sometimes you've got to be a bit daft, and I'm a glutton for punishment sometimes. It sounds horrendous.
I was just about to say, did you feel that then this is all about emotion and mentality, which I'm a big believer on. It's all my hippie woo-woo shit that I like doing it, right? But when somebody has a bad day like that and you think, right, I fucked up my deadlifts, so mentally I need to really kind of punish myself, so I'm just going to go out and get crushed by a bloody yoke. Was that what was going through your head? It was like, I've been a bad boy, I've not done what I need to do, so now I need to go and sit in a naughty corner.
I think if I can do something that I've never done before, which you'd think you couldn't do, then I'm happy. I'm still pissed off, but I'm happy. Daft things like I was doing a frame, done 300, 320 quite easy. And I picked up 340 and I ripped a callus from the bottom of my finger there and it went all the way down to the end. And it comes straight off. So what I done was I super glued it together, put some tape around it, but I had programmed at the end of the session 200 pull-ups and it was already written down and done. And it took me an hour and a half to do 200 pull-ups because I was nearly crying every time I'd done it. So I am quite brutal in the sense of I've got something to do, I will finish it no matter what happens. So that's why when I do all these fucking stupid programs for people and that, I know what's happening. So if anyone ever said anything to me like, "Oh, why don't you do this?" I go, "Mate, I fucking do it," and I am going to shut your fucking mouth. Do you know what I'm saying? I try and pass off my own stupidness on other people, and if they enjoy it, what happens? They stay here. And I've got lads who have trained for 7-8 years and they're still here putting up with all the shit now.
Brilliant.
You know,
I love it.
It's a time thing, this coaching stuff. You get better with experience. As long as you learn from mistakes, if I always program new exercises, I've always tried them on myself.
Yeah.
I would never make someone do something that I ain't tried or done myself, ever. I wouldn't do it because it's irresponsible. And I think over the years, by talking to different coaches, doing different things and trying different things out, you become a better coach with experience. And you can't buy experience. You know, you can be as smart as you want, but you can't buy experience. And I think over the years, when you've competed and you train different people and you meet different people, you get experience. And that's a very important factor of being a coach.
Definitely. Yeah, it's all anecdotal. I'm a big fan of it. You know, I like the mix of science and anecdote. I don't think you can be a scientific coach and I don't think you can be an anecdotal coach. I think you do need to have that hybrid mentality.
Oh, God, there's loads of them about Jesus. It's like, I'll give you an example. What works for me won't work for you. So, I would never program the same session for me or what I would for you.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people get mixed up with that. So, I'll give you an example. My name's Bob. I've been a bodybuilder for 10 years and I'm going to take my son Billy down the gym and I'm going to make him do this. And you just think, the amount of times I've seen that growing up in gyms and training and stuff where you just think, God, you're going to fucking kill the poor lad.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. You know, what you make him do that for? Max bench 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Come on, bro, what you doing, man?
I know, yeah.
You know, and I think it's like when you hear people say, oh, you don't need a coach. Right, some people don't need a coach. Some people are generally quite smart and whatever, and they know their own body, whatever. But some people with the right sort of direction can be so good. You're very surprised with a lot of people who don't really, who sort of wing it. It's amazing in a sport, you know. Some people are really good naturally. And you think, wow, if someone actually took you underneath their wing and showed you the ropes, you'd be fucking phenomenal. Some people, you know.
Yeah. I know.
And
I've seen them in the gym. I've seen them in the gym already. You see them and you're just like, Jesus, if you just stop trying to get a max out lift every fucking day, you'd actually be really bloody good. But that's the thing. It's like you were saying just then, I love lifting heavy, but you can't lift heavy all the bloody time. You can't recover from it.
No, it's brutal. That's why I like listening to guys like Lawrence Charley and people like that. They've been there, they've done it, they've experienced injuries. And as a coach, as long as you learn from your own experiences, the way you portray and pass it on to clients is inevitable. It's really important. And like someone like him can pass on a lot of knowledge from rights and wrongs that he's done in his own training. And that's where like I get guys, don't get me wrong, and girls where they're like, oh, I want to do this today, I want to do that, I feel really strong. And I'm like, will you just fucking rein in a little bit? Yeah. I know we send your plans week to week, but I know what your big goal is. Trust me to do that, and you just fucking lift the weights up.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't go to plan, I'll take it on the chin.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I will always take responsibility for it.
Good.
Always.
Yeah.
As long as they take responsibility to follow the plan and don't lie to me.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing that annoys the life out of me is when people don't do as they're told and they wonder why they've hurt themselves. I can't stand it.
I agree with that. It's the same in my bag, you know, it's just like my weight hasn't come down or my weight hasn't gone up or I'm not recovering as much as I should be doing. It's like, have you followed the plan? Well, no. Well, who have you got to blame then, my man?
Oh, well, at the weekend, I had 2 takeaways.
Yeah.
Right, okay then.
Yeah. So
whose fault is?
Exactly. You know, all of the sodium gains.
I was getting a lad ready for a competition before, and we were getting him ready for like he had a max deadlift in his competition, and everything was going up fine. And all of a sudden, it hit a stumbling block. For about 2 weeks, and what we changed different. I've only been doing 3 grappling sessions and 3 kickboxing sessions a week alongside it. And I was like, what?
Yeah. I
was like, what the fuck? And he said, oh yeah, my hips are killing. I've eaten all the heavy deadlifts. So I was like, oh yeah. It's got nothing to someone wrapping you up like an anaconda every 3 seconds. I was like, fucking hell, mate. I said, you could have told me that. I said, I wouldn't be planning all this shit for you if I knew you were doing that. I said, you'd be fucked, are you? Yeah, my back's killing. I was like, oh, cheers for letting us know the competition's next week.
See, this is the other thing. It's not like they actually, it's not like they lie to you about it. It's that they omit some of the vital information that they're doing now, you know. Omission is just as bad as lying about it. So, that's
one of those things. And when I don't know about you, but when you help people for a living, when something's not going right, you take it a bit to heart. You think, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
What we're doing wrong? I know what I'm doing, but do I know what I'm doing? And you start second guessing yourself.
Yeah.
And the only thing as a coach, I always like to think I'm very confident in my own ability to train people.
I do apologize.
Yeah, so like when something doesn't go to plan, I always take it out myself. But and then when you realise that it hasn't got a plan for another reason, you're like, oh, fucking hell, man, I'm fucking stressed for no reason here, you know?
I know, it's mental. It's proper mental. And you do feel that kind of emotion as well. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I'm assuming that you do because we seem like we're on the same kind of wavelength, if I'm honest. When my guys compete, I feel so emotionally attached to them that I really, really, really want them to do well. Like, I had a girl who was doing... Yeah, I feel sick with it. I feel sick with it.
I can't stand it. It's my worst thing ever. I can't stand it.
Do you lose sleep over it as well?
Yeah, I don't like it. And it's not because I don't think they're going to do well. I just think, oh, God, I hope this goes to plan for them. You know what I mean? Because I know they're going to feel. You know?
It's almost like go on. It's I had a girl who was going to do a max deadlift, and it was so important to me that I had her plan bang on. The night before, I was losing sleep over it, thinking, well, shit, what if I haven't timed that right? What if I haven't done that right? And what happens if this happens, you know? And you do get this huge emotion, then you buy the phone all the time because you're like, right, when you're starting off and, you know, everything like that. I lose it because I get so emotionally connected with everybody. And that's the reason why when my guys make weight, I'm on the phone to them and I'm like, right, how are you feeling? How many waters are you in? You know, this kind of stuff. But you do get attached, don't you?
Yeah, you do. And the thing is, when you start getting to know someone personally, it's like, I know nearly every single person who I train what they're like on a competition day when they've already competed. And I know some people's nerves are worse than others.
Yeah.
And like, that's something where you can help as much as you can, but someone's mental focus needs to be switched on, you know? And like, training the mental side of training takes a lot longer than the physical. Building someone's mental state of mind is a very, very hard thing because you've got to be able to build someone's confidence without filling them full of shit at the same time. So like, I'm not going to tell someone they're absolutely amazing and they're doing great if they're not, because that's lying.
Yeah.
And then you're basically blowing smoke up someone's ass for no reason.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, you've got to install confidence enough so they have to believe in themselves that they can do something, you know? And it's like, it's a very fine line that, where you've got to give someone like this big boost where they feel confident enough to like approach someone with confidence, but at the same time, don't approach it in the sense of where they think they're unbeatable. Like, I've trained guys and people in the past where they'll think they're going to walk into an event and win it. Yeah. I've already won this. And I'm like, you fucking haven't, like. So you're going against 15, 20 people who want it just as much as you. So show them respect and show yourself some respect and take it event by event. I've had times where I've fucked up the first event plenty of times. And what we've got to do, we've got to regroup, regather, and go again. And I've had, same in competitions, I've fucked up loads of times in the past where I know I'm not going to win, I know I'm not going to podium, but you still leave every single ounce you have on that field. So you can leave with a bit of respect, you know, and where you go, right, I tried my hardest there, but I fucked up, but I'll take on the chin myself, you know. Yeah. And I like my guys, I think the exact same with that, and my girls, where as long as they've done everything they can and they're proud of themselves, that's all I can ask for, regardless. Win or lose, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely. I love that. I really do love it. I think it's a really nice point to leave it on, actually, as well, to be perfectly honest, by saying win or lose, you've still got to have every kind of passionate bone in your body kind of being exuberant with yourself as well as your clients at the end of the day. So just before you leave, because I know we've been chatting for an hour. God, that's been going quick, hasn't it? It's like, holy shit. I know, right?
You want to see me and Marcus? You want to see me and Marcus go, wow, we talked that long during lockdown on a podcast. We had to do another one to fill in what we were talking about. It's mental.
Oh, we can do that. I'm pretty sure that people resonate quite well with this. It'd be nice.
Marcus says I'm the only person who talks more than him, and that's impossible.
Yeah, it is impossible, to be fair. Right, okay, so I do ask everybody who comes on one question, because it always just kind of like throws them on the spot, and that is, if you could have dinner with somebody, 3 people, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Oh, this is a good one. Right, so I would have to take Marcus with me.
Yeah.
So it'd be Marcus, because he makes a lot of conversation. He makes some fucking fantastic points, and I like talking to him. It'd be Marcus, Martin C.
Oh, okay.
Martin C, 110%, because there'd be a lot of jabber going on, and I don't understand what he says, but I kind of like it at the same time. So it'd be Marcus, Martin, and let's throw a little wild one in there, John McEnroe, because he's a fucking lunatic.
That would be a dinner to remember, I have to say.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, them 3, 100%.
Wicked, I love it. Right, just before we go then, just give yourself a little bit of a plug. Where can people find you, contact you? Are you taking on clients, that kind of thing?
3D Strength, Instagram, that's the best way to contact me. I'm fully booked online, but if anyone ever wants any advice, any lifting advice or anything, I'm always free to drop a message about anything, lifting, whatever, any advice. I'm always free to send videos over for a chat anytime. I'm based in Darlington in County Durham. If you ever want to come for a session, it's £5 a session, and I'll train you as well. So that's where you can find me.
Nice one. So what I'll do, now that I know where you are and how much it is to come and have a play with you. Oh my God, that sounds bad, doesn't it? Fucking hell. I do apologize. Everybody knows that I do have these kind of like slip-ups. So anyway, I will come down to the gym and I will see you and a couple of other people, because I know that they're going to do it, and we'll do something for the old YouTubes, which would be very, very nice. So, guys, I'll put all of Dale's links in the comments below. As always, if you have enjoyed the podcast, give us a like, give us a share, so I can carry on getting some most amazing guests on the podcast as per usual, and I will chat to you all next time. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.